Last week I got to achieve one of my nerdy goals and I met comic book legend himself, Stan Lee. Now I don't know if you know this, but Stan Lee is kind of a big deal. And if you don't know who Stan Lee is, get off of my channel. He co-created Spider-Man, the X-Men, Iron Man, Thor, Hulk, most all of Marvel's huge flagship characters. And I finally got to meet him at Ohio Comic-Con. Yes, Ohio has a Comic-Con. So because Stan Lee is such a big personality, he had his own thing for signatures, he had his own thing for photo ops, and you had to really choose one or the other unless you wanted to pay for both. And it was a really big deal. I opted for the photo op because I already had my Stan Lee signature. So I'm standing in line for the Stan Lee photo op, dressed as 11, of course, right? And there are VIP people to the right, people who paid even more money to cut ahead in line, and just I just wanted the standard photo op. I was fine with that. So the VIP lines are far to the right, and then they start funneling people in, and we all get excited in our line, and the lady comes by and tells everybody who's not going to be in the photo to leave, and it actually thins out the lines by like a third, and it doesn't seem like that far until I'm gonna meet Stan Lee, and I start getting more excited. I had an idea for the photo. Since I was dressed as 11, I had my sonic screwdriver, and I brought a sonic screwdriver for Stan. I didn't know if they were gonna let me have him hold it in the picture, but I wanted to try. So the next line goes, and the next line goes, and finally my line starts moving, and I start getting nervous, because Stan Lee, like I said, is a big deal, and I was going to get to meet him for the first time. This was my first time ever seeing him in person, and I was getting nervous. So I don't know if you've ever been to any of these photo ops at conventions, and I don't know if they do this at every convention, but they had sort of like an indoor photo tent thing. It was like maybe 20 feet by 20 feet, and you walk through, and then there's a little line, and the person's taking photos. Stan was sitting there in his chair, people walked up, boom, picture, they walk away, next person walks up, boom, picture, they walk away, next person walks up, boom, picture, they walk away. They were going really quick, rapid succession, and they kind of had to, because obviously there were a lot of people who wanted a photo with Stan Lee, as expected. So my part of the line finally walks into the tent, and the first convention employee is telling people that if there are things that they don't want in the picture, they can put it on this table. Coats, jackets, accordions. If you don't want it in the picture, put it on the table. You can pick it up after you take your picture. I wanted my two Sonics in the picture, so I had them in hand. The second convention employee stops me and says, you can hold yours in the picture. I'm not sure if Stan's gonna want to hold yours. And I just said, okay. I waited in line this long, I wasn't gonna not ask him. And after I got past those two employees, I kept hearing other people say, no handshaking, no touching, Stan, don't touch him at all, no handshaking. Then it happened. The two guys right in front of me took a picture together. The one guy turned to Stan and said, thank you, and Stan shook his hand, and all security sort of broke loose. No touching, Stan, don't touch him, no handshakes. And it immediately became tense, and I still kind of hoped that he would hold the Sonic, but I didn't want SWAT teams to drop in on me. It was kind of nerve-wracking for a completely different reason then, and I was a little tense. So finally, after those two people were escorted away, I was able to walk up to Stan for my picture. I hand him a sonic screwdriver and said, can you hold this for the picture? Takes it, he kind of looks at it, and I said, it's from Doctor Who. And he's like, oh, right. So Stan is sitting right here holding a sonic screwdriver, I'm holding a sonic screwdriver, and the photographer is really cool about it, and he's like, all right, point it right at me. And so Stan and I point our Sonics at the photo, takes a picture, and the guy says, got it. And the best part is I go to take the Sonic from Stan. Stan hands it to me, looks me dead in the eye, and says, we nailed it. I don't think I've ever fanboyed that much in my life. So I take the Sonic from him, I walk out of the tent, and I was happy. That was the best thing ever. Do you want to see the picture? How awesome is that? Pretty freaking awesome. Yep, Stan Lee holding a sonic screwdriver. I feel like I just divided by 0 or something.